Adam, this is honestly tragic and heartbreaking. Just listen to this.
أقول يا شيخ أنا بناتي يصومون لأبوهم المتوفي صيام وهو كان مفرط ما يصوم اللي يعني يفطر في رمضان فهذا يجوز ولا صدقة ولا كيف؟
هل هو كان يصلي محافظ على الصلاة؟
والله مفرط في الصلاة بعد.
يعني يضيع بعض الصلوات؟
إيه يترك سنين هو يترك.
ومات على ذلك ولم يتوب؟
والله هلا يعني يصلي هو أحيانا في البيت أحيانا الجمعة أحيانا.
لا أنا قصدي هل يترك الصلاة نهائيا أو قصدي ما يصلي مع الجماعة؟
لا الجماعة ما يصلي معها مرة.
لكن ما يترك الصلاة؟
اللي يتركها والله يا شيخ.
متعمدا؟
كسلا يعني تكسل.
إيه هذا لا يصام عنه ولا تنفعه الأعمال
الصدقة
إذا مات على ذلك والعياذ ولا الصدقة ولا شيء ولا يستغفر له.
Yes, Omar, it's truly heartbreaking. But what makes it even worse is that this so-called fatwa is built on a fabricated hadith that directly contradicts the Quran. This is the hadith they're using. The covenant that distinguishes us from them is prayer. Whoever abandons it has committed disbelief. This hadith is one of the most dangerous and misleading lies ever used against Muslims, because nowhere in the Quran does Allah say that neglecting prayer turns someone into a disbeliever. And ironically, even Al-Bukhari, the hadith collection they claim is the most authentic after the Quran, does not include or support this narration. To expose just how inconsistent and contradictory these rulings are, I'll show you another fatwa at the end of this video, issued by a scholar from the very same Sunni sect, that says the exact opposite.
So what does the Quran actually say?
The Quran is crystal clear. Neglecting prayer is a sin, just like neglecting zakat or failing to do good deeds. Allah warns of serious consequences for those who abandon prayer or ignore giving charity, but never once does he say that missing prayer takes someone out of Islam. Allah said in chapter 74, verses 42 and 43, "What put you into hell?" They will say, "We were not of those who prayed, nor did we feed the poor." This verse shows that both skipping prayer and neglecting charity are sins. But does it label someone who misses prayer a disbeliever? Absolutely not. It simply shows that both actions carry consequences.
Then why do some so-called scholars insist that missing prayer makes someone a disbeliever? Take Al-Fuzan, for example, the one in that video telling the woman not to even pray or seek forgiveness for her deceased husband. What kind of punishment awaits someone who misleads others like that?
Omar, I'm not here to judge Al-Fuzan. Allah alone is the judge. But for his own sake, I hope he doesn't fall under those described in this verse. And who is more unjust than one who fabricates a lie against Allah or denies the truth when it comes to him? Is there not in hell a dwelling for the disbelievers? These individuals elevate hadith above the Quran, using fabricated sayings to falsely label Muslims as disbelievers. They claim that if someone doesn't pray, all their other good deeds, like fasting, giving Zakat, or acts of kindness, are meaningless. But this is one of the most dangerous distortions ever introduced into Islam.
So, according to the Quran, who is considered a Muslim?
It's very clear, Omar. A Muslim is someone who believes in Allah as the one and only God and believes in the Day of Judgment, without denying the existence of the angels, the holy books, and the prophets. That's it. If you truly hold these beliefs, then you are a Muslim. Period. Allah confirms this in chapter 21, verse 108. "Say, it is only revealed to me that your God is but one God. So will you be Muslims in submission to him?" Prayer is an act of worship, but belief is what makes someone a Muslim.
So are you saying that someone can enter paradise even if they don't pray?
That's not what I'm saying, Omar. Only Allah decides who goes to paradise or hell. No scholar, no sheikh, no person has the right to declare who is saved and who is doomed. What the Quran clearly tells us is that your final outcome depends on the balance of your good and bad deeds. Allah said in chapter 7, verses 8 and 9, "And the weighing of deeds that day will be the truth. So those whose scales are heavy with good deeds, it is they who will be successful. But those whose scales are light, those are the ones who will lose themselves for what injustice they were doing toward our verses." This means it's not a single act that defines someone's fate. It's the overall weight of all your deeds. Someone who may not perform regular prayer, but constantly remembers Allah and gives generously to the poor might be better off than someone who prays daily, but forgets Allah the rest of the time and never gives zakat. But again, it's not for me or anyone else to judge. Only Allah knows and decides.
So if only Allah can judge people, why do these scholars act like they have the power to decide who goes to heaven or hell?
That's exactly the problem, Omar. Instead of leaving judgment to Allah, they try to play God, issuing rulings based on fabricated hadith instead of the Quran. Allah said in chapter 4, verse 94, "O you who have believed, when you go forth in the cause of Allah, investigate, and do not say to one who gives you a greeting of peace, 'You are not a believer, aspiring for the goods of worldly life, for with Allah are many bounties. You yourselves were like that before? Then Allah conferred His favor upon you, so investigate. Indeed, Allah is ever, with what you do, acquainted.'" This verse makes it absolutely clear, don't judge people's faith, Talk 4, based on suspicion or assumptions. Allah commands us to investigate, be cautious, and leave judgment to Him alone.
That makes perfect sense, Adam. That's why I always ask, did Allah say this in the Quran?
That's exactly the right mindset, Omar. The Quran is the only preserved guidance from Allah, and it's time we commit to following His words, not the opinions of men. And just to be clear, we're not discouraging Muslims from performing prayer, nor are we downplaying its importance. Prayer is one of the most essential acts of worship in Islam. What we are saying is this: the claim that someone becomes a disbeliever simply for not praying is false. If, for any reason, someone is unable to perform prayer, that doesn't mean they should neglect other acts of worship, like remembering Allah, doing good, and avoiding evil. To close this discussion, I'll share a clip from another scholar, one from the same Sunni sect as Al-Fawzan, who clearly says that a person who doesn't pray is not a disbeliever.
بين العبد والشرك ترك الصلاة، فمن ترك الصلاة فقد كفر. هل يجوز تكفير تارك الصلاة؟ أمي بتقول تارك الصلاة كافر، وأنا أصلي ولكن أعترض معها في الرأي وأقول أن تارك الصلاة مسلم وليس بكافر. طبعا ولا حضرتك ولا أنا ولا الوالدة الغالية نتكلم في الحتة دي، اللي يتكلم في الحتة دي أئمة، هم اللي يقولوا إيه الفعل اللي يعمله فلان يبقى كافر. النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام لما قال العهد الذي بيننا وبينهم الصلاة من تركها فقد كفر، جماهير الفقهاء قالوا ليس المقصود هنا الكفر اللي هو عكس الإسلام، إنما المقصود هنا الكفر العكس الشكر. لئن شكرتم لأزيدنكم ولئن كفرتم إن عذابي لشديد. فليس كفرا يخرج من الملة لو هو مقصر في الصلاة أو ما بيصليش.
Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed discovering the real Islam and found the information helpful.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you can continue learning more about Islam directly from the Quran.